Find out how we're interacting with the natural world today.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, a community-owned and operated hospital. Here for you when you need us. From emergency care to routine checkups and screenings, caregivers are here and ready to provide the safe, high-quality care you need close to home. Online at sanjuanregional.com with the latest health information and resources to help you live life better here. Eleven minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning, November the 3rd, 2021. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air, of course, here in San Juan County, New Mexico. 103.3 FM broadcasting to Durango, Colorado, and everywhere else on Earth from our website, KSJE.com, and that includes your smart speaker. Welcome also to our viewers who are watching this visual radio program. It is streaming live this morning out to the KSJE Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter account. We're glad that you were with us this morning, everybody, because coming up in the next few moments, we're going to update on some of the programs and events coming up soon at the Farmington Public Library, so stay tuned for that. Then later on this hour, Ron Price is going to be here with another lesson about life in the sandbox. And this morning, it's all about the gift of listening, so you'll hear that today at 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. Next hour, of course, after the news at 9 a.m., it is Roving with the Arts, our classical music program. Mcgrath is featuring music from the Soviet and Armenian composer Aram Khachaturian. That's coming up today at 9:06 on KSJE, which will take us to 10:30, and right on Four Corners, our local and regional author program. Tracy Hales-Vass is speaking with author Anne Hillerman this morning about her two latest books, Stargazer and The Sacred Bridge. You'll hear that interview this morning at 10:30 on KSJE. Don't forget, in addition to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you can also connect with us on our Instagram page as well. And if you're a podcast person, like my guest in the studio is a podcast person, you can subscribe to KSJE Podcast for free on all these popular podcast apps, places like iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora and Podbean. Just search for KSJE and subscribe for free. Let's talk about the weather, shall we? We always tell you that visual radio can take you places, so let's head over to Paris, France this morning for a look at the afternoon sky in Paris, where it's just after 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Current temperature is now 53 degrees. That's their high for the day today, with partly sunny skies in the forecast and a low tonight in Paris of about 37 degrees. Back here at home, currently 38 degrees outside our studios here at San Juan College, and we are expecting a mostly sunny day today with a high of 62, low of 32 tonight. Sunny again tomorrow, the high 64 on Thursday, warming up to 66 on Friday, maybe 69 on Saturday, with sunshine for the rest of the week, as a matter of fact, and highs each day in the mid to upper 30s. Well, let me turn to my guest, who is here with me this morning, as I mentioned, from the Farmington Public Library. Always great to have her in the studio. Jennifer Lebowski-Ryan is here. Jenny Lee Ryan, good morning. Good to have you here.
That's a new one.
Is that a new one?
That is a new one.
Okay. Well, I try to keep, kind of shake it up a little bit.
You busted me because when you mentioned Anne Hillerman, do not miss that interview. Anne Hillerman, we've had her at the library a couple of times. She is a treasure and a delight, and it's fascinating.
Yes.
She's a fascinating woman. But in December, we are having James Mcgrath Morris, who wrote a book about Tony Hillerman.
Aha. That's the link. I was waiting for the connection.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that, and it's Anne Hillerman, great book.
Well, yeah.
I mean, hello.
Right.
About our, pretty much about our area. Yeah.
Anne's been at the library, too.
Yeah. No, she's
over
delightful.
The years, so.
But we're having James Mcgrath Morris, and I was trying to look up the date.
Okay.
But you can look up, if you go to infoway.org and go to the calendar,
right.
It's in December.
Okay.
It has the title of the book, which is escaping my brain right now.
Yeah.
Okay. But
it's okay.
Yeah, and then you can on the calendar, so go to infoway.org, click events calendar. On the calendar, you can add it to your calendar. Just go click.
See?
And then you won't miss James Mcgrath Morris.
There you go.
But don't miss Anne Hillerman later on today on KSJE, because that's
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, she's a fabulous interview, and we just love Ann Hillerman. Yeah,
exactly.
So.
Well, and those books are terrific too,
Yeah.
carrying on her father's legacy.
Well, and her husband does the photography of Hillerman's Country, and remember we did the Hillerman Country library cards several years ago.
I do remember that, featuring his photographs. That's true. That's very true.
So.
Very good. So anyway, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here this morning.
Yeah.
And so that's an event in December, but there's a lot more coming up in November that we could talk about, right?
Yeah,
before we even get to December.
Yes.
So let's start talking a little bit about that. I'm going to adjust your camera shot too, because you're a little.
Am I?
It's okay. But then
Did I move from when you?
You might have moved a little bit, but
Okay.
that's all right. That's why we do this.
Whoa, can you find me?
There you go. So anyway, November 11th, next week,
Yes.
is an event.
Is another Real
The
Readers.
Real Readers,
yes. And then we've got another one coming up in December. November 11th is Casino Royale, which is a James Bond book.
Right.
Or maybe you didn't know.
Or movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And movie. Well, it's Real Readers,
That's
so it's
why.
a book and a movie.
Got it.
So you can check out a copy of the book, read it ahead of time, or you can just show up for the movie.
Right.
There is always a book versus movie discussion afterwards.
Right.
Which is always a lot of fun. Sometimes it gets a little heated.
Does
so
it?
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
If you want a sneak peek of the questions that'll be asked during the discussion, just pick up. We have a little card with the questions. It's next to the book.
Got you.
And oddly enough, it's bookmark sized. I know.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's convenient.
Isn't it though?
See?
I wonder who thought
There
of
you
that.
go. I bet it fits in the DVD case too
What?
for the movie.
No, you're watching the movie with us.
I know.
Yeah.
I get it. What if you want to watch it before the event and watch it again?
Well,
You could do that.
you can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Casino Royale, a
Casino
great book,
Royale.
great story.
Yeah.
Great, and James Bond, they're always great.
James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah,
you go.
and good catch up for the James Bond movie that's out, right now. So
That's right.
Yeah, so
Very true, very true. So
big
this is
content.
coming up on Thursday, November 11th at 6 p.m. for our radio audience who can't see the graphic on
That's
the screen.
right.
And it's another in-person event. We're getting back to in-person events safely
Yes.
at the library, which is exciting to see.
Mainly for adults who can, get vaccinated. Now that the vaccine has been approved for 5 to 11, we'll start easing those in. But we want to make sure that we're proceeding with caution. We're cautiously optimistic about our ability to add more in-person programming, but we still want to make sure that we're safe and we don't spread this COVID thing because it is not fun.
No. When you're ready for it to be done.
We are so ready for it to be done.
Right. So anyway, details again, infoway.org. You can mark your calendars and you can get the event from their calendar to your calendar.
Yeah, go to infoway.org, click on events calendar, click on the event, and you can share it on your Facebook page so you can invite your friends.
Right.
You can share it to your calendar, you can email it to yourself. So you don't miss another fabulous program at the Farmington Public Library.
Real Readers coming up. So there's that. The other event that we want to talk about too is another trivia night.
Another trivia night. That's going to be the week after.
Right.
Wednesday, November 17th, 6 o'clock p.m. The category is Indigenous.
Nice.
So you can compete on your own. You can bring a group. You can have a clever name for your group. That's always encouraged. But fun and prizes.
There you go.
Yeah, for showing off what you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very true. And so again, an in-person event.
An in-person event.
At the library. Teams are encouraged and welcomed.
Teams are encouraged, yes. But you can, you can show up on your own, and maybe if there's other people who showed up on their own, you can form your team.
Right.
So.
True. Very true.
You're welcome to join us.
It gets underway at 6 p.m. and as you mentioned, there are prizes
There
awarded
are prizes, yeah.
to the smarties.
Well,
Yeah.
to the people who know trivia.
Okay. Well, they're usually pretty smart.
Yeah.
So that's true. Very
Depends on how much you retain
right.
trivia.
That's true.
So.
Very true.
Yeah.
Winter reading, 2021. I thought we just had summer reading. Now we have winter reading.
Did. So what we do for after summer reading, we kind of talk about what worked, what didn't work,
Right.
and what we want to try for the next summer reading program.
Okay.
Winter reading is a good chance for the library to try out some stuff
Okay.
that we think are going to work, but you can help us prove that it's not going to work, or it is
Okay.
going to work.
Like a Yeti with a mug of coffee or hot chocolate.
Well, That was a little indulgence on my part.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So the theme is warm up with a good book because we know library users, winter is the perfect time to curl up in front of the fireplace with a good book. So we're doing our winter reading program. You can register for it right now. Go to infoway.org.
Okay.
Click on the red box.
Okay.
If you miss the red box, then you know what? You need to.
You can't miss it.
Yeah.
Basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Unless you're colorblind.
All right, it's still a box.
So it's
Click on the gray box.
And there's a Yeti.
Click on the gray box.
Yeah. Dude.
Just saying.
It's on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Click on it and register. And starting November 22nd, which is the Monday before Thanksgiving, you can start logging your books.
Okay. It's similarly set up to the summer reading program.
It is similar, however, you don't automatically earn a T-shirt.
Oh.
What you do is if you log...
Well, it's winter.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That and yeah.
Okay.
So if you log 3 books, you get an entry into the grand prize drawing.
Ah.
And we've got I know for the kids, the grand prize is one of those giant stockings full of toys.
Nice.
We'll have a teen grand prize and an adult grand prize.
Gotcha.
So when you sign up, make sure you put in your email address because we notify the winners by email.
Got it.
So logging 3 books, that's how you get 1 entry into the grand prize drawing.
Okay.
Then we've got 34 different challenges.
Wow.
So when the challenges are open and they'll start November 22nd, they'll pop up on your homepage when you log into your winter reading account. There's also a tab called challenges. And we've got a lot of fun challenges. So like one is log a book each week during the program.
Okay.
And that just automatically gets completed when you log your book that week. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
like it. All right.
Very, very easy to do. Attend a library event. So go to the calendar, save something on your calendar. When you go to the event, you get a secret code. And then you enter that into the challenge, and you've completed that challenge. Now, the reason you want to complete challenges is because each challenge you complete gets you an entry into our weekly drawings.
Okay.
And gets you an extra entry in the grand prize drawing. So you could have up to 35 entries in the grand prize drawing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the more challenges you complete, the more chances you have to win. And the challenges are easy. What I'm really excited about is we're going to be hiding Betty the Yeti around the library.
Betty the Yeti.
And when you find her, you enter in the secret code.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, and she'll be in a different location each week, and it'll pop up.
Gotcha. So is this the image that we're looking at right now? Is that Betty the Yeti?
No.
Oh, okay. That's different.
You'll know it when you see. Well, I mean, it's hard to miss a
Betty Yeti.
A Yeti in the library books. You know, if you're looking for a book and you see a Yeti, you know, that's what that is.
Okay.
So
Eureka.
Yeah, Eureka. So enter the secret code.
All right. And this is there's not a lot of time necessarily, right? Because you're doing this between kind of now and the end of the year, right?
It's a shortened program.
Yeah. Compared to summer.
Mainly over the
winter
breaks.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving break, winter break. So, and like with the summer reading program, doesn't matter what you read.
Okay.
Read a cookbook.
Right.
Read a graphic novel.
Right.
Read the newspaper. Whatever. It all counts.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it all counts. So
there you go.
Just make sure you're reading. You know, one of the things we learned with the election is people don't read.
What?
Especially when it's a sign that says entrance is on the south side of the building and a big fat arrow.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a really good time to hone your reading skills.
There you go.
And get back into the practice. I know, it's been I've got 3 books that I'm very excited to read that I haven't gotten to, that have been sitting on my to-read shelf for a few months, just because, things get very chaotic. So Thanksgiving break, winter break, those are good times to, get back into reading and read a few books, discover something new.
Right.
We've got a little bit of everything at the library, so.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's year-round.
That's year-round.
That is true.
So,
very true. And so, again, just to recap, this is for kids and tweens and teens and adults and everybody.
It's one program to rule them all. So the first thing you'll have to do is put in your age. Be honest, because if you lie about your age, you might get the you might win the tween grand prize or the teen grand prize. So,
yeah. Okay.
I promise not to tell people your age.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for that.
I mean, not you, but
you already know.
Normal
You already
yeah,
tell people my
people.
age. You just
yeah,
true.
So, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
So, put in your email. Make sure you put in your email address. If you don't know it, we don't require it because sometimes kids don't know their email address or use their mom's email address. You can go back in and put it in later.
Okay.
Make sure you have an email address because that's how we notify winners.
Right.
If you don't have any email address, and just keep logging into the program, and it'll pop up and say you've won something. So, so you'll be notified through the winter reading program, but also via email.
Great.
So,
and we can start registering soon.
Now.
Already now.
Do it now. Right.
The red
now.
box is there.
Yeah, red box is there.
Okay.
Just clickety click. And
Enter.
And oh my gosh, and the registration is like so easy. Like I was training people yesterday. I did it like 17 times yesterday with in like 5 minutes each time. So
right.
It's super easy. So
Good.
we don't sell your email address.
Right.
Any of that. So
All that stuff, and it's free because it's the library.
Free. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are all about free.
We are all about free.
You really are.
It's kind of our thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So, very good. Warm up with a good book. It is the Farmington Public Library Winter Reading Program for 2021. And again, registration open right now. And the idea is to log your books for entries into the prize drawings. They are weekly prizes and also the grand prize drawing towards the end of the calendar year, I would assume.
Yes, the last day to log your books is January 8th.
Oh, so
a
little bit into 2022.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, very good. But
yeah, so register now, start logging your books November 22nd. That means if you read a book this weekend,
right,
it's still legit if
you
log it on the 22nd.
It could work. That's true.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Again, we don't check. We trust our patrons. So.
Well, there's your first problem. But that's okay. But
well, as I said to, I was training the
as
staff
a summer
yesterday,
reading program participant, I appreciate that rule.
When I was training staff yesterday, they're like, now, do we have to check and make sure they did it? Because some of the challenges, you just confirm that you did it.
Right.
And I said, no, we don't have to check. If someone is going to scam the library, karma will get them.
Well, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. And it sounds like
karma
some of these
does our work for us.
Right.
So.
True. And some of these with the secret code, I mean, that's the confirmation that you did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
To get the code.
Yeah.
So you've got that too.
Yeah.
Kind of built in. So nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Very good.
Yeah.
Story times on Mondays. I see them pop up on YouTube all the time.
Yes, we have them on YouTube and Facebook. We do them as a Facebook premiere many times, so you will get a pop up. We've been working really hard to make these.
When you say we, you mean you.
No, we.
Oh, okay. All right. I know you've been working hard because you make the videos.
Have, and so have, I've been editing the videos and trying to, make them a little bit more splashy and attention getting.
Like this show, splashy.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So we do a new story time on YouTube or Facebook. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Right.
And you'll get a pop-up. In fact, you can go to our YouTube channel right now and see the upcoming story times and when they're going to premiere.
Aha.
And then you can click and get a reminder. Like you can put those on your calendar from YouTube.
Okay.
So to get to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page, go to infoway.org, scroll down a smidge, and then on the left-hand side, you'll see YouTube and Facebook. So,
nice. Okay.
We've been working really hard. We're using a lot of, we've been finding a lot of fun stories.
Right.
We're really worried about the pre-K, the birth to pre-K kids not getting those reading skills before they start school. Mm-hmm. We don't know how to safely bring them back into story time.
Right.
So this is kind of what we're doing. So we encourage parents to watch these story times with your kids and read books with your kids. No matter, if you just brought them home from the hospital, start reading.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's good advice. And as we just talked about, you can log all those books for your winter reading program.
You can log all those books for your winter reading program. Look at
See?
you, learning stuff.
Right.
I know.
I do have another question for you, though.
Yeah.
How far is a smidge? You said
look
scroll down a smidge.
Just...
Okay. Just checking.
A wheel turn. Just...
Okay.
I wasn't expecting
you
to get grilled.
I'm just trying to be specific.
Yeah, I thought I was in friendly territory.
Right, I just was asking.
Yeah.
So, very good. But new stories every Monday.
Two new stories every Monday.
Okay.
So they debut at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So we're trying to keep it, similar to what we did
in person.
Yeah. But they're up for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of licensing, we have to take them down each week. So just make sure you're logging on once a week.
Right.
And watching those story times with your kids. And we try to do them fun. I've been adding, sound effects. We've been doing the voices. We've been,
like this show.
Sure. So... like on Poultrygeist, I actually put David in the book. I'm using all my fun little video editing techniques that I've been dying to use anyway. So
just to be clear, that sounds like a story about chickens.
It is.
See?
Poultrygeist.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
It's on my playlist. I'm going to watch it later.
Well, I had to take it down.
Oh.
Because it was only up for a week. It came up. It was really cute.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We'll be doing some reruns, so if you miss them, we'll, we can... We'll probably do a redo, especially of our most popular ones, like How I Became a Pirate, or I did Glitter Corn. It's a unicorn.
Yeah, of course.
Who likes glitter?
Like this show.
Yeah.
Like this show. There you go.
Sure.
Right. My guest this morning is the fabulous Jane Lee Ryan. She is here from the Farmington Public Library talking about all the different things happening at the library, including the video story times, which are now inhabiting Facebook and YouTube spaces. And you can subscribe to the library's YouTube channel, as you hopefully have done to the KSJE channel on YouTube, because that's where we are as well this morning.
And all of the story times are listed as premieres, so you can look at the virtual storytime playlist, see what's coming up, and then add it to your calendar. So you can make that appointment and set that time with your pre-K and younger child to watch the story times. And it's
very good.
Even if you're working, they're at daycare all day, maybe before you go to bed, watch the story.
Because they're not that long. I mean, they're stories aimed at that age group, so there may be, I don't know, 10 minutes?
It depends on the book.
Right.
We've got a very special one coming up on Monday for Veterans Day. It's a beautiful book, and it's called 21 Steps, and it's about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which seems like a heavy concept for young readers, but we know that the kids can handle it, and getting them to talk about these things, and it's just presented in such a beautiful and sensitive way.
Nice.
Betty Decker and her husband Mark, who is a veteran, they read that story time. We could not get through the book without crying. I kept crying while I was editing it, and then I added sad music. I laid it on pretty thick.
Okay.
But I think it's really important for all ages to watch the Veterans Day story time. It's, like I said, it's a beautiful book. I learned things, and it's a good way to understand why we do Veterans Day and why we honor our veterans.
Nice.
And it is the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
So timing's very good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And like most stories and most books that I think we read with kids, it's a great jumping off point for maybe another conversation about glitter unicorns or Tombs of the Unknown Soldier or any of the topics that are covered in these books.
Absolutely. There's a wide variety. Some of them are just silly and fun.
Yeah, sure.
And some of them, have a little bit more of a humanities-based, ask those deeper questions or lead to your stories. 21 Steps might be a good lead-in if you've got a parent who's overseas or has, been in the military.
That's right.
That's a good way, or an uncle, a family member who's been in the military, a good way to kind of introduce that concept, the broader concept of what does it mean to be a veteran? What does it mean to be in the military?
Right.
So we did a program that we hope to bring back called Primetime, and that was the same concept. And the books were, award-winning books. And when I first started doing it, I'm like, isn't this heavy for the kids? But watching them and asking the questions and the humanities-based questions, which is like, what would you do? How did you feel about this? And then the parents would say, I was in a situation like this, or I'm an immigrant. This is my story. Sharing those stories really creates that beginning love of reading and love of stories, which in our area, we know with the Native American population, that is, your history. It's that oral history. It's that sharing that story, as, we discussed when we did the storytelling festival.
You bet. Well, and that every family has their stories.
Absolutely.
Which kind of maybe prompt some of those conversations of tell me about Grandpa's time in the armed forces, or these things that get passed down.
A good way to get into that story, or to jolt your memory of your story, or something that you think isn't important to tell your kids or your nephews and nieces. You read a book about it, you're like, oh, I should probably tell them, my experience with this with this topic. And like I said, we have a little bit of everything at the library. So if there's any topic that you want to discuss with your kids and want to lead in with a story, we can probably find you an appropriate book at the library to check out to discuss these stories. But that's the key to these story times and this early literacy. It's the talking about it. It's discussing it. Every Child Ready to Read isn't teaching toddlers to read. It's getting them excited and giving them the skills that they need to start to learn to read once they get to kindergarten or
There you go. But they need some of those skills to be ready to do that.
It's so important, and it's just killing us that we can't do in-person story times. This is the best we have to offer, and we're trying our best not to lose those skills, because as you know, New Mexico is 50th in literacy, and the only reason we're 50th is because there's 50 states.
Oh.
So we do have a huge literacy problem in this state. The pandemic has not helped that.
Right. True.
So we're doing our best to keep moving forward in our quest to improve the literacy in San Juan County. So
good point. And again, for parents who maybe see some of their children having trouble reading, make yourselves available at the library. I mean, those are free resources to go in and just pull a bunch of books that your kids may want to read and read to them, and start that way.
Our best resources are our people at the library. The staff is amazing at finding just the right book. And like David, he'll come up with a book, he'll hand it to me. He's like, you need to read this one for story time. And it's perfect.
See?
And you can tell on the story times that I'm having fun. So
there you go.
They're very good at matching the right book to the right person. They'll ask you some questions to try to find out. But, and that's, if you have reluctant readers, sometimes it's just about finding the right book to get their interest, which is why Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Captain Underpants, the boys like those because they like discussing underpants. So, I mean, who doesn't? But,
there you go. See? And there you go. Well, to recap, To recap, speaking of underpants, let's talk about the Real Readers program coming up on next Thursday, November 11th. You are doing Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. Go to infoway.org, click on the events calendar, and then you can save that event to your calendar so you don't forget. Space is going to be limited, as with all our programs, so you're encouraged to show up early. And we'll seat you kind of in pods, like with your group, and kind of spread out. We don't have the full multi-purpose room available, but the space we do have, we're going to social distance and space people out. But remember, all these programs, space is limited. So
got you. Very good. So again, you can show up and watch the movie and discuss the movie and the book and try to be
reading the book isn't a requirement. You can sit back and just watch the discussion if you haven't read the book. We're not going to we're not going to call attention to, hey, Scott Michlin, you didn't read the book, obviously. We're not going to quiz you.
See, there you go.
It's okay. You can just show up for a movie. And of course, we do have extra copies of the book available for checkout right now.
And the great Ian Fleming and the great James Bond movie. I'm trying to think. I think this was probably produced in the 60s.
Casino Royale?
I think so.
No, I think that was a
70s. You're going to look it up, aren't you?
No, I think it's a recent one.
There's there's a couple. Maybe there's a couple.
It's Daniel Craig.
Oh.
So, hang on.
Well, I think there's maybe an earlier Bond, Casino Royale. But check it out and see.
I don't know. I've never seen a Bond movie. I know.
Oh my goodness.
I know I shouldn't. I should not
just embarrassing.
admit that in
you
public.
No. Wednesday, November 17th at 6 p.m. is the trivia night at the Farmington Public Library with the theme of Indigenous. And
okay,
again,
there's a 67 version of Casino Royale and a 2006. We're showing the 2006 version.
Oh,
so, yeah.
okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you should show both and have a conversation about that. Just saying.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's a 4-hour event. There you go. But thank you for clarifying. I was thinking about the earlier version.
Well, I
movie.
work at a library, and we always say you don't have to know everything. You just have to know where to look.
And you did.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
Always
Don't forget
great
to
to
sign up
visit.
for winter reading. Go to
That's right.
infoway.org, click on the red box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Betty the Yeti.
Easy peasy.
She's
Yeah.
waiting to be found.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Or will be, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Jenny Lee. We'll see you
Thank you.
soon. Jenny Lee Ryan from the Farmington Public Library, my guest this morning here on KSJE.
Can a magic box full of new tech help solve the climate